For the last few months, I've been visiting Violet a few times a week. I think it's a delightful thing for a young teenage girl to befriend someone of another generation. She is like a window into the past, I think to myself. Also, a widow into the past because her husband is dead. Violet has a biscuit barrel in the shape of a pig that brims with top quality branded biscuits. It would be fair to say that I visit the biscuits as much as I visit Violet. Once, she had run out of biscuits. That afternoon had been difficult for both of us. But today, everything is well. "Shall we have tea and biscuits?" she asks, putting things on the table. I put my hand in the barrel. It makes a snorting pig sound. It snorts at you every time you take a biscuit, which even my balmy exuberance can't help but interpret as slightly judgmental. Still. "Lovely weather," Violet says. "Yes," I'll reply. "Incredibly temperate." Tink and Tonk come into the room and coil around my chair legs like brown smoke. "Did Dennis like it when it was temperate?" I continue. I'd read in David Niven's The Moon's a Balloon, Hamish Hamilton, 1972, that the worst thing about losing a spouse was that people seemed too scared to ever mention him around the grieving partner. Learning from the mistakes of David Niven's Hollywood friends, although not Clark Gable, who apparently always mentioned Niven's dead wife because he'd lost his own wife, sexy comedian Carol Lombard, several months earlier in a plane crash, I always mentioned Dennis to Violet whenever I could, in order to keep his memory alive for her. Sometimes this is difficult. I once tried to bring Dennis into a conversation about people I fancied. "Would I have fancied Dennis?" I asked. However, when Violet showed me a picture of him, I wasn't quick enough to stop my face from betraying the fact that, no, I would not have fancied Dennis in the least. I was hoping for some B&W shot of a hot resistance fighter from the Second World War, lolling on a Spitfire. Instead, Violet was showing me a recent shot of Dennis, on holiday at the Butlins in Pwllheli, where he looked like the BFG from the BFG. Roald Dahl Puffin Books, 1984. Even with my freewheeling open-mindedness, I couldn't fancy Dennis, a man whose ears looked like 2 long pieces of bacon. Violet had ended up crying that day. I had taken no pleasure in eating her biscuits and had limited myself to just one, a bourbon.